Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is December the 18th. No, sorry, I got that wrong. Check, scratch. That's December the 19th. Oh my gosh, 2025. And it is the last new moon in Sagittarius. This last moon portal. There's many portals still yet to come before the year ends, but welcome, welcome, welcome. This is day 39 of FreQSpeak, of 111 days of sharing my real, raw, messy, authentic frequency and energy in all ways, shapes, and forms, and colors, and all of that fun stuff. Working with a little clear quartz today. I pulled this out. I usually keep this out here. The rest of my crystals are in my room on my windowsill. I was guided this year to kind of move them all into one place to use and for protection while I sleep. Hi, Shonyata. So I just finished the universal chakra light language, and the ancestors came in again with their beautiful energy, their frequency of light and of unconditional love. And I'm just going to talk about some things in my journal. I might pull a couple of cards. I may do an actual card pull later on. I might record an actual card pull because I like to do card pulls around the new moon and the full moons. Excuse me. But today I might just pull a couple of moon cards to see if they complement what wants to come through today. All right, so it's tea time, and this one is super simple. Life is a gift. This life here is a gift, even when it doesn't feel like that through all of the stuff that we've been through. Sometimes it doesn't always feel that way. So just know that you won the lottery to come down here. There was a lottery to have this human experience. 144 on the timer. See me, see 122, 333, 444. Those are the numbers that came through already this morning. 1212, 1221. Okay. Just to confirm that this message might be for you, or the next message that you come across and they mention those number 202 on the timer. Just know you won the lottery to come down here to have this earth experience, this earth school experience, this human experience. And yes, for that lottery, you may have been incarnated many, many times to grow. And I would say, each experience, you've set up each lesson per each lifetime, depending on what you contracted, that each lifetime is a different course, is a different form of class. That just came through. So each lifetime you structured it to, a certain course. And certain courses have certain outlines and 244 on the timer. So imagine each lifetime, let's say you've had 1,000 lifetimes. So each one is, you're going to learn something different. You might be a newer soul and you've only experienced a few courses in this universal, this earth school, this really challenging, very dense. That's why everyone wants to come down here, because it's a learning experience. You gain a lot of knowledge and wisdom being here. And again, the mind and ego still think that there's nothing beyond itself, and that's not true. So just know that you are the infinite. You are connected to source. You are the all, right? All right. You are the snow. You are the rain. You are the grass. You are the water. All right. So what are you doing for your rituals? And again, you don't have to 333. So there we go on the timer. Thank you, source. You don't have to do rituals, but if it excites you and expands you, and it elevates you, do some rituals, burn some candles, light some sage, write some manifestations. You can look at some manifesting practices if you feel that calls you, but don't do it because you're trying to force something or get an outcome. Do it because you're called to do it. I've been doing ritual stuff for years, unconsciously, just something that my soul's innate wisdom has been pulling from lifetimes. So the other thing you can do, which is fun, is make moon water. So this jar I got years ago. It's 12 pounds. They held 12 pounds of honey. So I got it from a local vendor who would get their honey from somebody local. And it's about 1.5 gallons of water. And then for me, I put different, again, it's structuring your water. So not just blessing it and setting an intention and doing light language with my water and infusing it. I also wrote on it, and there's different light language sigils and different things like that. But again, setting the intention. There's also salt in here, and I finished off some mineral drops in here. And then again, if it doesn't get directly in the moonlight, it's still intended to receive the power of the moon. Okay, So my kiddo's gotten really into that, and he's like, Mom, where's the moon water? Can I have some moon water? So he's really fun. So we try to remember, we don't always, because it's not about being perfect. We try to remember to make our moon water every full moon and every new moon. 505 on the timer, thank you. And I'm really hot because I just did that a light language transmission, and I get really hot when I channel, and I'm all sweaty in my hoodie. Keeping it comfortable, keeping it cozy, keeping it real, raw, and messy. So I'm just going to touch on some things that I've jotted down, just things that dropped in, or just things that dropped in while listening to other things. So, all right, here's some good just affirmations maybe. I surrender to the outcome where my mind and ego is trying to spin me out of control. So if you want, go see that video I did on that yesterday. But I'm going to repeat it again. I'm guided to repeat it again. I surrender to the outcome where my mind and ego is trying to spin me out of control. And you know where that is, okay? Tap in, 555 on the timer. All right, so find strength in knowing that you can make a difference in this world. So find strength in knowing that you can make a difference in the world, okay? And knowing that you are making a difference in this world. Just by being you, sharing your real, raw frequency and energy. And of course, we've got source codes. So while doing these videos, you're receiving my special flavor, my frequency, my code, my color, as well as you're receiving the source codes here. You're also receiving the elementals energy and frequency here that I have in my space. Right, I have a lot of elementals that I work with here in my space. So you're also receiving that through these transmissions, through these videos. Again, these videos are timeless. So if you receive this in a month or 6 months or next year, remember, you're receiving that in divine timing, in perfect timing for where you are at in that now present moment. That's how it started to really unravel and unfold with me is, again, my clairaudience worked more through transmissions, through videos, through readings and different things like that. And then my sacred algorithm got set up. And now that's how my team gets a lot of messages to me. And again, yes, there's a lot of decoding and discernment that has to go along with that. And again, taking what resonates and leaving what doesn't. But understanding that if you build your algorithm up, that your team can work with you in this, using this technology for the good versus just doom scrolling, okay? So just know that and have the awareness and set the intention that using your technology is that you are asking to receive what you are meant to receive for your highest and best good, always and only through unconditional love, through divine light, divine love, divine truth, divine power, and divine wisdom. And so it is said, and so it is done, and so it shall be. Words are powerful. You are a powerful, powerful person. So again, if you're curious, go check out the chakra light language. So it's again, we're in that new moon of Sagittarius portal. The 3-eye atlas is as closest to the earth, I believe, on its way back out. Again, I haven't really got into all of that. If you have, because of curiosity, cool, awesome. If something falls in my feed that I get curious about, 808 on the timer. So the 8s have been showing up, that divine abundance. All right. Also, yeah, get curious about it, but don't get wrapped up in it because it's being shoved down your throat. Again, if you're curious, fine, but don't do it for any other reasons than that, okay? Again, if it excites you, expands you, and ignites you, then yeah, go ahead. All right, so we no longer make ourselves small to make others feel comfortable. So let's say this again. We're going to say this 3 times. Write it down, say it out loud. I, me, you, we are no longer making ourselves small to make others feel comfortable. Let's say it again, because the power of 3 is amazing. 3 to 9. I like 3, 6, or 9. Because again, we know what 3, 6, or 9 is. If not, go and look at the frequencies for 3, 6, 9. Or there's like 3, 6, 9 methods and different things like that, okay? So I, me, you, we no longer make ourselves small to make others feel comfortable. And most of us that are here have done that our entire life, is we've made ourselves extremely small, or put ourselves aside in our feelings and our emotions and all of that because to make other people comfortable, because you make people uncomfortable. You irritate their ego, their mind. You irritate their field. You irritate the entities that are attached to their field, to their physicality. And when you have awareness of that, when you go into a space or go into a situation, you know it's not you. Although you've been made to feel like it's you, it's because you hold a very big light. And that very big light not only attracts the certain things, but it also will repel or irritate, like I said, irritate the entities or irritate the ego and the mind or irritate whatever's stuck in their field, their frequency field, okay? And you can also look into what your human design might be, and there's different ways you can, different websites and different things like that. But something dropped in my awareness a month or so ago, and I went and talking about reflectors, and they're very rare. Reflectors are very rare. So when I put in my information to the human design, which is interesting because it does use my name and birth date and all of that, I'm not quite sure because I've had many different names, last names, so I don't know how that affects it. But I did not resonate with it because it originally popped out that it said that I was a projector after I already read all the information on a reflector, which is like less than 1% of the population. It was basically you're a walking mirror. You reflect back. So that I definitely resonated more with being a reflector than a projector. And again, there's masters, generators, and then what was the other one? Let me look. I wrote it down. So a reflector, then you can be like a manifestor / generator or generators, 101 on the timer. So you can look at, if you get curious about what's my human design, and then read off some of the characteristics and see if that fits you in your life circumstances, okay? But so like I said, I resonate more with being a reflector, aka that mirror, that walking tower. And I heard that in many transmissions and readings and things, that I was basically a trigger, an activator, a reflector, basically a walking mirror, a walking tower, because you trigger people and you irritate people, and it causes them to see themselves in whatever I'm being triggered, or whatever I'm triggering in them. Thank you. So another way to know that this video might resonate with you, it's 909 for key codes 1212122. All right, so what are we at here? So the tea bag last night said, a garden is a delight to the eye and solace for the soul. Okay, there's just some little sayings I wrote down that might feel in resonance to you. All right. You are powerful beyond all measure, and know that, feel it, and embody that. All right. Use your voice. You are a creator. That's why doing this FreQSpeak of 111 days, we've been really guided to, again, it excited me, it ignited me, and it's expanded me. 1221 and 122 on the timer. Thank you. In realizing that I didn't realize Source 8, my higher conscious self, wanted a lot to say, or felt like it was the perfect timing for me to just share my journaling, to share the light language that has been reawoken inside of me. Like, I had no idea is usually how that works. 144 as well, 222. So use your voice. Again, just use your voice. Again, I'm just using my voice in the most messy, magical, magnificent way that I can, sharing my frequency, my energy, my flavor, my color with you, the collective who clicked play. All right. So know that you are loved beyond all comprehension. So that you are powerful beyond all measure, you are loved beyond all comprehension, and you are supported by forces that you cannot see but can absolutely trust, okay? The ego's in mind is going to really try and tell you that no, that's not true, which is that falseness, right? It's that falseness, okay? So continue to give yourself, I'm trying to read my handwriting, I apologize. So continue to give yourself the most before you give all of your energy. Okay, thank you. Okay, so continue to give yourself to yourself first. Thank you. That was first. So continue to give to yourself first and always, no matter what that looks like. Healing, resting, sharing, projects, classes, whatever it is that it's exciting you and expanding you. Before you give all of your energy and essence to those around you. Family, husband, kids, parents, etc. So the problem we've gotten in the society is that to feel worthy of receiving love, which is conditional love, not unconditional love, is that you have to constantly give of self to try and get some reciprocity. Reciprocity should be an equal give and take. There should be no thought or effort. You shouldn't have to continue to give of yourself and your essence to receive something back. That's not how that works. That's false paradigm, that's conditioning, that's programming. What it is for you to receive, how do you receive the most abundance ever is to give to yourself first and to heal yourself and to go within and be still. It's not continuing giving your energy and essence to all those around you thinking, oh, if I give all this away and if I do all of these good deeds and all of these things, that then I'm going to become abundant. Then I'm going to get all the stuff. Then I'm going to have all this love and in the big house and the marriage and the, whatever it is. No, you have to take care of yourself first. And yes, if you are called to service, that's completely different. But again, why are you what's your why behind it? Is it because it fills you? It's not because you're doing this act of service to get something out of it, right? That's not the point of it. Like, you're not doing something. It's, again, and yet that's the church's conditioning of the only way that you can get something is to constantly give something of yourself. And that's not true. Okay. That was a big message this morning. Okay. And then also know what you give your attention to creates your reality. If you're giving your attention to the chasing, the gossip, the news, the false information, the haishanyata, the hustle, the bustle, the conditioning, if you keep giving your attention to that, you're going to create more of that, if that makes sense. So let's say you sit in front of the news stream all day. All right. If you sit in, whether it's the phone or the television, you're putting your energy and essence into that paradigm of destruction, of worry, of fear, of lack, of all of that stuff. You're just going to receive more of that because that's what you're putting into the universal grid. That's putting into the field. You're like, oh, they're going to sit and just wallow and worry, and we're just giving more of that and more of that and more of that. How do you change that? By changing what you put your attention to. Start listening to other things. Start giving your attention to different things. And just one small thing can change vastly. Like, this time last year is completely different than this time this year. Completely. I can't tell you because I don't remember exactly what took place last year. I even pulled my journal out to see my original journal, which is vastly different. And I'm like, is there any notes from this time? It was a 12/16 and it was just a few little jots. And then the next one was January. I mean, but now it's just like journal, writing, downloads, all of this. So it's completely different. So just know that in a year, in 6 months, 17:22 on the timer, thank you, that in a year, you can be in a completely different spot tomorrow. You can be in a completely different spot in a month and in 3 months. All right. So again, putting your attention, again, building that sacred algorithm, because remember, what you put into the field, you're going to receive back. So if you're continuing to put out into lack, into worry and anxiety and overextending yourself and giving your energy and your essence away to things, remember, your most valuable currency ever is your frequency and your energy. And harvesting of loosh is a real thing. So there's a reason why they get you addicted to certain things, devices, substances, programmings, all of that. Because you're giving it away, right? You're giving away. Confirmation on that. I just got a text. So just confirmation on what I'm saying. Okay. So quit giving that away and start putting it back into self, creating a sacred space, creating sacred routines, reading a different book, turning the news off, putting your attention, stop gossiping, stop getting involved in all the nonsense and the bullshit that's going around you, because you continue to give your energy and essence. The universe is going to continue to give you the nonsense and the bullshit. And it's this vicious, what I call a death spiral, down into those lower frequencies and those lower energies. And it makes you susceptible to get jumped. I'm guided to say that. If you're not aware of the spiritual realms, you're an easy target. And I've been an easy target my entire life because I didn't know. Once you know, you know, and when you become aware, you can change your habits and your actions and your thoughts and your words around things, okay? All right. Let's go back to this. What do we got here? Okay, so where in the past year were you present? Were you more present or less present? Were you, paying attention to the light codes, looking up at the sky, looking at the clouds pass by, look at the birds and how they act, how the squirrels play, how the grass grows, how the rain falls, how the snow falls, how the leaf falls? How present are you driving down the road? Are you looking around you, or are you just in this blinder mode where it's just basically going through the motions versus being present in every now moment, okay? If you haven't been, I would say this would be a good thing to start now. Don't wait till next year. Start now, being more present, being present here with the people that you are sitting with. Get off your phones, have a conversation, look at somebody in the eye, put your phones aside. Be present while you're making a meal, while you're shopping, while you're driving, while you're exercising. Be more present in every now present moment. And you're going to see the magic and miracles when you get out of that paradigm of just hustle and bustle and putting the blinders on and just going through the motions, that robot mode, okay? So try that. Make that a new thing to start now. And especially this time of year. I've said this, many other people have said this, at least that fall into my awareness, that you need to be present. Let it be easy. Let it be simple. We overcomplicate. And again, we overcomplicate and worry and stress and all of that nonsense and bullshit. I'm just going to continue to say we need to disconnect from the nonsense and bullshit and be more present with self and be more present with our surroundings and be more present with those souls that you are interacting with, okay? So be present, stop rushing. It's been a message this whole month. Be present, stop rushing. Live rich. So take those rich days instead of sick days. Thank you. I've meant to touch on that with the sickness that's going on around right now. Everyone's detoxing at this point. So live rich. Take a rich day. Take a day off just because. Take a few hours just because. Remove, like if you're a healer or a worker in that sense, take a few hours and block your schedule half the day. The world is not going to fall apart if you take a half a day for yourself. All right? Your ego and mind are going to tell you. They're going to really try to convince you that you can't do that for yourself. But that's where we push back, and that's where we start to do things for ourselves and not continuing to get caught up in the looping mind, the monkey mind, or the death spiral, according to the ego and the mind's small self's version of things around here. So really allow to see yourself honestly and truly, and you can also do some mirroring, 22 on the timer. So really allow yourself to see yourself. Do some mirror work if you feel called to do some mirror work. So before we pull some cards, I'm just really called to touch, because there are a few people that have been just sick, and they're like, and I talk about detox a lot, in spiritual detox, energetic detox, again, physical detox. We're coming to the end of the year. We've got all these portals. People are receiving all these activations and these downloads and these upgrades, and knowingly or unknowingly, like I participate in a lot of energetic work via my device. So I follow a couple of different people that work on removing implants, removing entities, removing different things through past lifetimes. So constantly getting like energy healing and activations because I'm called to, because it excites me. All right. Not because I feel like I need to. I'm called to click play on certain things, and I'm going to be receiving what I'm meant to receive in that present moment for what I need in my energetic field, my physical field, my physical body, my mind, emotional body, my field. Okay. So please utilize these tools. That's why we've got this. That's why healers, energetic healers, are going to become so much more important moving forward. Excuse me. So I know a handful of people that have been really, really sick. Really sick. Excuse me. Confirmation burp. 2 of them. I'm clearing somebody's energy. All right. So I had a really, like I said, I don't usually get sick unless I go through a massive detox. I went through a massive detox earlier this year at the beginning of my reawakening, right? We've gone through many awakenings, but one of the big ones this year. I had a massive upper and lower respiratory infection, which is basically heart clearing, throat chakra, third eye, like this whole area. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't function. It was just, I was a wreck. Now you might be feeling that right now. So be mindful of that. Again, that's giving you some awareness on how to slow down. So I said this to someone yesterday. I said, why aren't you giving your space to slow down? Because what's going to happen, and this is in the business of physical fitness, if you overtrain, you end up injuring yourself, or you end up getting really sick. It's a real thing. Same thing when you're having energetic detoxes, or you're going through a transmutation, a transformation. Your body's got to get rid of all of those gunky, sticky, ucky things, whether it's the food you've been consuming over the years that's been stuck in a different parts of your body, whether it's different type of energies or energy stuck in your auric field, these you're going to experience detox symptoms. Like many people are going through massive detox symptoms, and there's no coincidence that people go through massive detox symptoms this time of year. It has nothing to do with the weather change. Zero, nada, shinata. Zero. You've been programmed and conditioned to think that. It has nothing to do with that. So it means you need to maybe go in and look and see, where do I need to change my foods? What am I drinking? What am I eating? What am I consuming? 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 Also, are you working yourself to the bone? Are you working too much? Is this, again, giving you the opportunity, whether you like it or not, to sit on your ass and do nothing, to go in, to meditate, to go deeper, to heal, to some of the most sacred work that you can do, and it took me a long time to figure this out, is nothingness, stillness, because my paradigm was still like chasing, wanting, again, it's all part of the programming and conditioning, the hustle mentality, go. If I don't get this done, I'm less than, and yasha, all of that bullshit. And what I had to, one of my biggest lessons out of a couple of them was patience and stillness this year. Thank you, Source. Patience and stillness. And over the years, anytime I didn't allow my body or listen to my body or listen to self, tower moment. You are knocked out from under your feet and you're forced flat on your ass through a major sickness or illness or disease. All right. I've had detox symptoms, but they're mild. They're basically breakouts. I've been having massive breakouts in my chin area, which is, again, a throat chakra, and then crown chakra. I've had breakouts all over my head. I've had itchy little bumps on my skin. Sometimes I get some hives. Again, we're going through these transmutations, these transformations. We're receiving solar flashes, light codes, downloads, upgrades, removing the old system, installing the new system, and it takes some time to do that, to be, getting a reboot or a reset. But that's something that the ego mind cannot understand. The medical field can't always understand the immense exhaustion. So remembering and having some concept of imagining that you're uninstalling an old program system and you're reinstalling a new program system, but you're trying to run the program while one is being deleted and one is trying to upgrade. Things aren't going to work as smoothly. You're going to have some bumps. You might have some issues, some detox symptoms. So again, hydration, structured water, and nourishment. Nourish the honor, the stillness, honor. Take the sacred baths. I will take a sacred bath today with salt and Epsom salts and eucalyptus oil. Set my intention. Been working with the water in my bath because I don't have water I can get into. And I connect with the water elements and the air elements and the fire elements and the ether elements while I'm in there. And that's why I call it a sacred bath or a sacred shower, because again, that will help cleanse and clear. So again, taking those sacred showers and baths, and again, that'll help the detox symptoms. Again, eating certain foods that'll help with the detox symptoms. Eating lighter. Thank you, Source. Eating lighter. Using certain herbs and certain binding products. Be mindful. Do your research. Don't go balls to the wall to help pull those toxins out. What else? What else do we have for the detox? Again, hydration is super important. Eating lighter. So basically yesterday I ate nothing but fruit. I had fruit, tea, and honey. That's all I had. I didn't plan on it. Like I used to plan all of my stuff all of the time. Now I just go, like I said, I've mentioned, day by day and week by week, and whatever I'm called to do. And I just didn't realize after I got home at 4:30, I just had a bowl of fruit and called it good, had a cup of tea, and that was it. Done. I do have honey often. So honey is very important because it holds light codes. It's structured sunlight, basically. So even if you're plant-based, get the honey in there. If you can, local, raw, unfiltered, okay? And then add those minerals in there. Take those sacred baths. Again, use the binders like activated charcoal to help. Use the herbs like Tulsi, and use magnesium and different ashwagandha. See what works and feels good for you, just to help with the minerals and the supporting of your organs. Again, there's a lot of adaptogenics you can look into. What else do we have? Activated charcoal. I said that as a binder. Minerals. Sorry, I'm not showing you or something. I was going with that. Yeah, and support. That'll help with the stress and the support and the detox. And then eat more fruit, because that's gentle and it'll help you detox. Fruit is very gentle on the detox. You can do fruit juices. vegetable juices. I wouldn't do straight vegetable juices. I would probably do a combination because you're going to need those natural sugars for that energy. And then just making sure that your detox pathways are open. Your kidneys are working well, your colon's working well, you're not getting constipated. That's very important because you want things to move. If you have to use some herbal support to move the colon, you can go Senta, Casa Sagria. I'm saying those wrong, but you can look at those two different, you can get them capsules or tea, that'll help move things, as well as magnesium, up the magnesium. People are so deficient in magnesium, and that's one of the great things you can use for stress and to help move and cleanse. So make sure your kidneys are working, you're sweating, aka the baths, the saunas, if you can do saunas. Great. Just get the sweat on. You can use essential oils to help with detox, like lemongrass or eucalyptus, things to help promote sweating. Again, that's your biggest detox organ. Liver, again, getting into the dandelion and the burdock root to help with the liver function, because that's where a lot of, that's your, filtration system. Make sure the liver is working well. Again, you can go and get curious if you aren't sure where to start and see what feels right. Go into your intuitive knowing, or ask them to present, ask your team or source to present to you via your algorithm. Say, hey, I need some guidance. Can you show me via algorithm, or having someone tell you that I need more dandelion, more burdock, maybe more tulsi, maybe more magnesium, if that makes any sense, okay? All right, so I think that's about it right now. Again, I usually get a little amped up around, definitely a lot more energy than I've had all week since the 12-12 portal last week. Again, I did a little bit of a mini lightweight cardio workout this morning, did the light language, talking to you. I don't know if I'm called to go out of the house today. I haven't really felt or sat into that yet. I don't know if I'm going to go out, maybe get some honey, just run to the store down the corner. It's the organic market. They have some honey I can get down there, because I'll probably run out if I don't get that. I'll probably make some muffins tomorrow, do some laundry. Yeah, just again, honoring the rest right now, honoring my rest right now. And each day looks different. And if someone was looking from the outside in what I'm doing, or what I have been doing this entire year, it's hard to use human words to say that you've been spending your entire year resting, recalibrating, healing, integrating, receiving activations, receiving downloads, and then repeat that cycle: resting, healing, detoxing, integrating. It's like this cycle, but a lot of people don't understand, what do you mean by integration? What do you mean by detoxing? What do you mean by receiving downloads? What do you mean by resting? That's what sources created my space, and I had a really hard time early on accepting that. I'm so grateful now that everything has been cleared, so I can just sit home and do nothing. I was joking about this in a conversation yesterday. It's not like I'm doing nothing. I'm doing some of the most sacred work I have ever done this year. That has been my main priority, whether I realized it or not. I know it now, looking back. It is some of the most sacred work I have done for myself, for my soul, for my physical vessel, for my energetic field, okay? All right, source, what do we have to finish off here for the collective? And again, if you feel called, take a sacred bath, do some rituals, make some moon water, do some breath work, do a meditation. What else do we have here? So what happened was really fun, I think, during the last full moon and the last new moon. Previously, the cards would come out, and actually the full moon for that day came out around that time, and so did the new moon card, because these have them in the full moons in their zodiac signs and the different positionings of the moon. What else do we have just for the collective here? Keep feel like oh, it flipped over. That's what it was. All right, a few more here, and then we'll call it good. And if you feel called to and feel interested, go to the light language integration, 8 days, and then, or the chakra system, and see if get curious and see, if that helps with where you're at. All right, is there anything else? Forgive. All right, so be real. Again, going back to being real, raw, and authentic. Step up and lead. So if you're in a position, a lot of us light workers, a lot of us light givers, lighthouses are going to be stepping up and taking leadership positions, teaching positions, healing positions. All right, work through the insecurities. So if you're struggling with some insecurities, you work through those. How do you do that? Get in the sacred bath, talk to your higher self, talk to source, talk to your team, talk to your ancestors, and always ask to receive the information through unconditional love for your highest and best good. All right. So we got work through or push through your insecurities and then work through your feelings, which is, yeah. So work through those feelings that you're struggling with right now and forgive yourself and forgive those around you. Again, you choose to forgive your ego or your soul will forgive when it's ready to give, but choose to forgive and not necessarily for them, for yourself. And again, if you saw my video yesterday, quit over apologizing. Apologize once for your actions and your words if you feel like that you need to, but quit over apologizing. All right, what do we got? Oh, trust all will be well. We'll finish the video with that. Thank you. That is a new moon. All right, new moon in Virgo. Trust all that will be well. I will talk to you guys soon. You have a beautiful, beautiful portal day. Again, you've been in the portal. You've been in the portals, whether you realize it or not. And I'll see you on the next one. Love you. Bye.